I didn't flinch. I didn't even blink. I just nodded along as my boss smiled that thin, rehearsed smile, telling me how my attitude at work had been problematic. Meanwhile, my phone pulsed against my leg with that single line from an unknown number. Don't react. Your boss is recording everything. My eyes slid to his desk. That phone. Tilted slightly toward me, screen black, but its camera was pointed directly in my direction. I'd seen him do it to others, set people up, twist their words, ruin their careers while his own reputation stayed spotless. But I never thought he'd try it with me, until that moment. And I realized I was already in the trap. I once admired him. That's the part that still stings. When I joined the company, he played the mentor role well. Late nights where he pretended to guide me. Compliments in front of executives. He made me believe I was special, different, the kind of employee who could climb fast if I stayed loyal. But loyalty is a currency manipulators spend freely. It started with rumors I didn't spread being traced back to me. Projects I completed somehow missing my name in the reports. Colleagues pulling away, whispering about things I supposedly said. At first, I brushed it off. Office politics, nothing more. But then I overheard him one night, his voice sharp, low, calculated. He was talking to another manager, feeding lies about me, painting me as unstable, untrustworthy. That's when the truth hit. He wasn't grooming me for success. He was grooming me for the fall. The text in my pocket confirmed what I'd begun to suspect weeks ago. Someone inside had finally seen through him. Someone wanted me to know the game he was playing. I felt anger simmer beneath my skin, but I didn't let it boil over. That's what he wanted, a reaction he could capture, twist, replay in boardrooms until I was nothing but a problem to be discarded. So I gave him nothing, just a calm smile, a nod, a quiet, "I understand," to every false critique. And in that silence, I made a decision. If he wanted a performance, I'd give him one, but not the one he expected. For weeks after, I moved like a shadow. Every interaction with him I documented. Every email he sent I archived. Every colleague he tried to poison against me I approached directly, with kindness, with clarity, dismantling his lies piece by piece. Then I went deeper. I studied him, his patterns, his rhythms. The way he set traps, always the same cycle. He'd isolate, manipulate, record, then report. He'd been doing it for years, and no one had stopped him because no one had proof. That was going to change. I bought a pen camera, small, unnoticeable. I started recording our conversations, his contradictions, his subtle threats. The first time I caught him on tape telling me to adjust numbers so they looked better, I knew I had enough to destroy him. But I didn't rush. No, patience is the sharpest blade. I let the evidence stack until it was undeniable. Then came the review meeting, the one where he thought he'd finally cornered me. He leaned back in his chair, phone still angled, rehearsing the same lines he'd fed to others before me. You need to work on your honesty, your reliability. People feel they can't trust you. I nodded, steady. I understand. He smiled, thinking the recording was painting him as calm, professional, while I looked submissive, weak. That's when I pulled out my phone. Actually, I said softly, I'd like to record this too, for accuracy. His smile froze. His hand twitched toward the phone on his desk, but it was too late. I hit play. From my speaker came his own voice, clear as glass. Just adjust the numbers. No one will check. If anyone asks, I'll back you up. Then another clip. His laugh. Don't worry, I've ruined better reputations than yours. Clip after clip, his own words, his own traps, all turned against him. The blood drained from his face. He lunged for his phone, but I slid mine across the table, letting it spin to a stop in front of him. Don't worry, I said, echoing his own line back at him. I've already backed it all up. The fallout was swift. I didn't even have to go to HR. By the time the board got the files, half the department had already submitted written statements. The unknown number that had warned me, it was a coworker he'd burned before, finally stepping out of the shadows. He was escorted out 2 days later. No severance, no glowing exit memo, just silence, shame, and the weight of his own games collapsing in on him. As for me, I didn't just survive, I was promoted, put in charge of rebuilding the very team he'd poisoned. People ask me if I regret it, if I regret not confronting him sooner or letting him think he had me fooled. The truth? I don't regret a second, because revenge isn't loud, it isn't messy, it's quiet, precise, surgical. It's watching someone step into the trap they set for you and closing the door behind them. He thought he had me recorded.